Good afternoon, Burnley fans. Do you remember this moment last season when our team was completely robbed?
It's not over yet, it's a corner. We haven't finished yet. We've got one more chance for Arsenal. They're taking it short. Here's Arsenal. There's one more head on that. And has he gone in? Oh, it's gone in! I can't believe it! I can't believe it! It's Chamberlain and Arsenal have somehow broken Burnley hearts! And how cruel this game of football can really be! Arsene Wenger, lucky manager. Burnley did not deserve that. They deserved the clean sheet, and we played blatantly 5 or 10 seconds over the time added on. The referee should have blown for time. And was there an appeal? Oh, they looked at handball in there as well. That is unbelievable. Cruel look on the carrots, and we do not deserve that. We do not deserve that whatsoever. That is an appalling decision. It's not a handball. It's an appalling decision. It's clear to show it to the referees in a terrific position. And that is one of the most ridiculous decisions I've seen from a referee all season.
Yes, it was, and it cost Burnley. And then there was another couple of fatal decisions in the game at the Emirates between Burnley and Arsenal that cost Burnley dear. Burnley looked as if they'd got level with a penalty. Oh God, with a penalty, and then all of a sudden lost it. Right on the last knockings to a really horrible decision. And again, Lauren Koscielny was involved, and I totally lost it on the commentary box that day as well. But today is a chance of redemption, a chance to revenge. Let's hope it irons itself out. And Arsene Wenger and your Arsenal team, watch out, because hopefully today at Turf Moor the balance will be restored and you will get your comeuppance. And one piece of team news, Burnley fans, you'll rejoice over this. No Mesut Ozil because of illness, so Iwobi comes in. So let's go for the full lineups as we wait for the teams to come out here. 5 minutes to kick off, so the team's just about to come out in a second or two. Burnley line up with Nick Pope in goal, then it's Lowton, Tarkowski, me and Ward, the usual back four. They do pick themselves these days, the Burnley back four, I have to tell you. And then it's practically a midfield containing Goodmanson, Cork, Henrik, Defoe, Brady and Barnes. That's the midfield quartet. And then it's up front, Ashley Barnes getting the nod. Chris Wood is back in the 16, but obviously not going to start the game today. Arsenal, their pedigree is unsurpassable, of course, naturally, but even their side could be really tested today. It's the strongest lineup. They practically make almost 11 changes from their Europa League disappointment on Thursday night. And there's their lineup as follows. It's Petr in goal, and then it's Koscielny, Mustafi and Manuel. They're playing with a back three incidentally. And then it's Bellerin, Ramsey, Xhaka, Kosenac and Iwobi and Alexis Sanchez, and it's Lacazette the lone man up front. On the substitutes bench, it's Ospina, Mertesacker, Danny Welbeck, Jack Wilshere, Maitland-Niles, Olivier Giroud and Francis Coquelin. The referee is from Greater Manchester, that's Lee Mason. The two linesmen are Harry Leonard and Matt Wilkes, and the fourth official from West Yorkshire is John Moss. So we're waiting, and here come the two lineups actually incidentally at Turf Moor. They're just about to come out here, and what an atmosphere we will have in store. Yeah, it's a cold, rainy afternoon here in deepest Lancashire, and what a game it promises to be here. Between 3 minutes to kick off, they are going to love it here, Burnley. An opportunity really to get 3 important points that would really put the cat amongst the pigeons here. Wenger, in his coat, knows that the importance of this game, remember, we've gone through the lineups for you. We are now all set to go in the rain at Turf Moor. Remember, Arsenal won here for a controversial goal last season. They can't afford any slip-ups here today, Wenger's side. But Burnley really do owe them one from last season when they were totally, utterly, and I have to say, they really were robbed last season. And I just hope and pray, and I am a Burnley supporter, and I'm self-confessed, I hope Burnley do get their revenge for last season, because what happened last year in that match, in that corresponding fixture, was an absolute disgrace of prime bad refereeing. I don't mean to sound harsh on the Arsenal fans, but that's my opinion of the situation, and I just hope and pray that things do work out in that respect. High regard. So, well, you know the two lineups. I will give them to you as soon as we get a break in play. We are just waiting for the game to kick off here at Turf Moor. I just cannot wait for this game to begin. It's just the build up to it. Arsene Wenger's praised Burnley in the press. Burnley have been very sought after, not just in the British media, but they've been quite big around the world, especially in places like New York, where they've had a big feature done on them by the New York Times saying how well they've done. And of course they've been big in France as well. They've had all sorts of praise thrown at them, and it's just been a remarkable thing the way they've gone about their business this season. The Clarets. It's been a joy to cover this season for everybody here on the YouTube channel, and long may that actually continue, because I just think this is a really important stage of the season where anything can happen. I just literally cannot wait for this game to start and get going. It's just going to be nip and tuck. We're all ready to set to go. The two managers shaking hands on the far side. And I for one now cannot wait. We're in the commentary box here. Turf Moor is buzzing. Everyone else is buzzing. This really is a big game. To truly savour. Burnley against Arsenal at Turf Moor is a game that I just cannot wait for. It's just one of these games that you expect. And we're all set to get underway. But I'll just give you the lineups once again in a second or two. But the news is that Arsenal have made 11 changes from Thursday night. So in comes the likes of Alexis Sanchez and Co, and Lacazette up front. And as for Burnley, it's the same 11 that beat Swansea last week in a Clarets match delayed. Just waiting on trying to get connections for the game. It's so difficult these days to get connections. Hopefully we'll get something this afternoon, buzzing for you this afternoon. Premier League, of course, is the event, and remember, this is our second live broadcast of the weekend, because we did the commentary at Anfield yesterday, and we got a great performance really from so I think we're underway now. Arsenal, of course, in the chain shirts. Burnley, of course, need I tell you, in claret and blue. So we'll be all set to go. You know the teams, you know the scores, you know what's at stake here this afternoon, folks. And hopefully we'll bring this to you live if we can't. And again, the fate is in the hands of the gods when you're doing live events. If not, there will be a delayed commentary of it at some point in the next day or two, but hopefully we'll be able to bring you it live and uninterrupted as well. So as soon as we get moving pictures, we'll be able to bring you the full commentary. But I'm telling you now, it's always in a, we always have this difficulty really when we're bringing live matches and things like that. So I just should also tell you at this point that Southampton have taken the lead in their match against Everton, so that's 1-0 at St Mary's. We're still waiting on action. Once we've got the action, we'll bring the game to you completely and utterly live. It's always the danger really when you're doing live broadcast I should say, that we want to bring you it to you live, and at the moment we haven't. We're not at liberty to bring stuff at the moment, but we will obviously bring something. We had everything all set up, and somehow it's well, we can't bring anything to you, which is a frustration. For me at the moment. I'm absolutely annoyed at this. We've built this game up and yet there's nothing, and we can't bring you any of this. It's just such an absolute ball ache at the moment to be bringing, that we can't bring you this game live. Once we get pictures we will bring you the commentary, but I can tell you it's 0-0 at the moment, and is always the problem when you're trying to commentate on these live events. And we have a full, I think we've got some pictures. We're 3 minutes in, 0-0, so I think we've got some pictures coming on here. It's taking them quite a while. Now I think we've got some comment. I think we can do some commentary now in just a minute or two. But as I say, last year, and we have the match now for you. So 0-0. We've had 4 minutes, and the game will be an Arsenal 3 kick. The ball played in towards the far side, nodded away. In fact, it was a Burnley 3 kick, and we hooked away once again. So we are back with you live. A bit late, better late than never, I suppose. Here's Gudmundsson down the right hand side. Burnley attacking the left right hand side, I should say, the McElroy end, or rather the cricket field end I should say, not the McElroy end. It's gone behind for the first goal kick of the game. 5 minutes gone, so thank you for bearing with us. We are live, you haven't missed a goal with us yet. Gudmundsson playing that ball in, but as I say, just ran out of steam. Arsenal in the darker shirts. Tarkowski in to win the next header. Now a chance here for number 8 here, Ramsey sets it up again. Good ball from Arsenal, but Lawson should be there first under challenge, and he's done well. In fact, he was bundled off the ball by one of the Arsenal players. In fact, the flag had gone up anyway, so a 3 kick nevertheless to Burnley. give you a real idea to gauge how well this game will pan out as a real contrast really between the two sides when you look at it objectively, as Burnley try to play the ball in there again, and the ball towards the back post, and just defended pretty well, but Burnley having a go at Arsenal from the word go here today by the looks of it, and that could be a real possibility here as Arsenal look to try and break out themselves. Still 0-0. And here come Arsenal again with Koscielny forward again. He go, or Granit Xhaka, I should say. Now this is Koscielny, who scored the controversial goal, and he'll be booed by every man in his dog inside Turf Moor this afternoon. I would have thought. Back to Pedicek, who made a superb save. You may remember in the match last year when Michael Keane was denied. This is Sanchez now on halfway, gets the ball back. Xhaka now takes possession for Arsenal. 0-0 it is. This is Ramsey. Ramsey just popping over to the right hand side here a little bit, and the ball kept in play. Still 0-0. Now Granit Xhaka in the centre. Xhaka playing it over towards Sanchez. Sanchez will get it onto his right foot, shoots well wide of the target, and Burnley survive that first real onslaught there, and that will be a feather in, I think, everyone's cap around most of the stadium here at Turf Moor. The poor shot really from Alexis Sanchez, it just didn't have the conviction really. In fact, I think it got a deflection, so it will be a corner here to Arsenal. So Burnley will have to be wary on these corners, and that was a dangerous one towards the near post, but it's knocked away. Mustafi, who scored in the clash between these two at the Emirates last season. Almost scoring again here as the throw is taken. Monreal keeps the game going. And Wilshere now over to Welby, who's in for the El Mezaderzal, who hasn't trouble with the side, which is a big blow for Arsenal. And well, if that's a free kick, I'll be absolutely disappointed with the referee. Welby is claiming he's hurt, but I thought that was a very good, robust challenge. Well, there's nothing wrong with that tackle by Tarkowski. What does Welby think he's doing? I think the referee's been conned here. I tell you what, if it is a free kick, it'll be an absolute joke from the referee. No, he hasn't. He's not fooled by that, Lee Mason, thankfully. But I tell you what, it would have been it wouldn't have been a very impressive start by the referee, I have to say. 0-0 here at Turf Moor as Goodmanson now starts breaking down the right hand side for the Clarets. Through the middle it goes, and Barnes lays it off. Lawton a bit of space here on the right hand side to measure up across in towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Brady has it, left hand side. Brady measures up a good cross down towards Barnes! Inside the D, he claims a push, and I think he may well have a case. Ashley Barnes certainly thinks he should have a penalty here, and I think he might have a point here. But it was a lovely move here by Burnley. Chipped in beautifully by Brady, and well, that's looked a shove to me on the back of Barnes. I think that's a penalty. I think Monreal's got away with it. I think Burnley have been robbed of a penalty there. Oh, should have been a spot kick to the Clarets. Ball back with Pope. 0-0, amazingly here at Turf Moor. Burnley should have a penalty in this game. Lee Mason should have spotted that straight away. I have to say, the referee again, it wasn't exactly brilliant. 10 minutes gone, 0-0 here at Turf Moor in our, well, we weren't going to say full match commentary, but it's probably going to be a little bit more, less than that, but it came in 5 minutes in, but one real opportunity there, one real incident. Should have only have had a penalty when Ashley Barnes was clearly pushed in the area. I should tell you guys, there's no live chat to this stream today, considering that recent incidents and that, so we're keeping the live stuff to the live chat to a minimum, of course, and then obviously getting his back live with Pedicek's goal kick, and he gets long and high, 3/4 of the way up the field. Still 0-0. Ball back behind, and it's another throw. Well, there will be questions asked to the referee there. Should Lee Mason have given a penalty to Burnley? That is the $64,000 question. Should Burnley have had a spot kick? I believe they should have done, because I do think Barnes was being pushed, and I think too often the bigger teams do get away with blue murder as regards refereeing decisions. They've conceded a 3 kick here for a foul there, and Burnley will have a 3 kick now on the right hand side. We've played 12 minutes, Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. Brady to take the 3 kick. Remember, Southampton were winning 1-0 at Everton last we heard at St Mary's. We'll keep you abreast of that at half time. In fact, it will, the latest score of that one at half time, but it's Brady short. Again, Defoe crossing that in towards the edge of the penalty area. Comes back out to Robbie Brady. Brady now out towards Jack Cork, who'll race to try and keep that in on the far side, and I think he'll do so very, very easily, and does comfortably. Finds Stephen Ward. Ward knocks the ball forward, up towards the challengers once again, and Arsenal come away with it now with the number 31. Up towards Ramsey. Ramsey now looking in space. Trying to make something happen. The last couple of Arsenal in the Community Shield, that was way back in August at the start of the season, and we haven't covered them once since. But we are today. 0-0. They've had a decent season, but no, they've come off the back of a win against Tottenham in the North London derby last week. A game I would have loved to have done, because it looked a real blood and thunder battle down there at the Emirates. Flag is up incidentally for offside against Alexander Lacazette, their new signing. Hit the ground running, their top scorer this season. Quite a number of Arsenal players I've noticed are wearing gloves, and they're being real big softies about it, I have to say. It is cold, but the Burnley lads, very brave. No gloves needed in their team. And Barnes again ruffling a few feathers on the edge of the area, winning that header pretty well against the Arsenal defender Mustafi, and that should be a battle and a half. To come up towards 14 minutes gone of the first half here at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0, the second match of our live double header. On Wednesday night we're at the Vitality Stadium for more Clarets commentary as Burnley make their way down to the south coast for the second time this season as they play Bournemouth. You'll be able to hear that one here on the JB Claret YouTube channel as well from around about 7:30 with a 7:45 kickoff, and then the FA Cup returns to the channel on Friday night. We've got AFC Fylde against Wigan Athletic, and that's a 7:55 kickoff with a there at Fylde. Here's Goodmanson now inside the area. Does well. Goodmanson shoots. Oh, it's a stay by Czech. That was a really good move from Burnley, and Goodmanson did magnificently well. Fantastic football here. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And in the end, the shot, it just went wide at the end. The goalkeeper palming it away. And that might have been 1-0. Oh my word, that was a good opportunity there for the Clarets to take the lead. And now we're back live again as Tarkowski now plays the ball forward here for Burnley. 0-0 amazingly here at Turf Moor, and I've got to say, Burnley have given as good as they've got here against Arsenal. They just sort of, I don't know, they've really taken it to them in all respect to them, and I have to tell you that it's been a game that's really been enjoyable from the first moment onwards, and I've got to tell you that it really has been fabulous the way Burnley have gone about their business and have not given too much respect to Arsenal or their superstars one iota. They've certainly gone at it like a bull in a china shop and have really gone at it a million miles an hour, and that has got to be admired across the board really, because if you look at the way both teams are performing right now, I just get the sense that Arsenal just don't fancy this. Just don't fancy this at all. I know Arsenal were certainly hot favourites at the start of this game, and at the moment Burnley really making things happen. There's another chance there. Stephen Defoe there involved. In fact, he's got a booking in fact for a foul there, and I have to say, I was looking at the other scores then as that was happening, but he's got a yellow card now. We'll find out how he got that yellow card in just a second. Here's Gummerton breaking forward, trying to look for Barnes, but Koscielny in the way, and at the moment Arsenal sort of hanging on here a little bit. They haven't really offered much as an attacking force so far in this opening few minutes of the game, which is a bit of a worry if you're an Arsenal fan. Ball running illegally there. Lauren Koscielny on Ashley Barnes, just to the left of the D. But no, this has been some game, and it's been enjoyable, unbelievable watch. But yet no goals yielded so far. But I'm sure that we'll get a goal at some point in this game. I can't see it being 0-0 for too long. But it really has been a cracking little affair this, and I've really enjoyed bringing it to you live so far, even if we've had one or two technical glitches with the games at the moment. But it has really been a proper affair, and it's been an enjoyable one to watch. It really has, and I think this fixture was always going to be tough for Arsenal when the fixture list came out back early doors, but so far we've really had a good action, and also there's a corner being won there by Burnley, so a real opportunity here for the Clarets to really slam home their advantage and their supremacy in this game. I've got no doubts about it. Brady with the corner in towards the penalty box, and nodded away, I think, for another corner. Indeed it was. So another corner it is to Burnley, and Robbie Brady will go and take it. We've had 20 minutes here at Turf Moor. Barnes is up there. I will be just tracking him there slightly. Remember, at half time we'll have that usual 5-minute break. As Brady sends his corner in from the left hand side towards Ben Mee, who jumped well, got the header in. He'll come out here for Defoe, who shoots just to the left of the D, on the edge of the 6-yard area I should say, and he hit that with some ferocity. Arsenal having to put bodies on the line. This is Robbie Brady down the left hand side. Ward on the overlap has stayed onside. Ward puts in a decent cross. Henrik at the back post and checks somehow, saves it, and it's another corner. Burnley forcing the issue here. 20 minutes gone. Could be a matter of time before Burnley strike the first blow. There may have been maybe an offside there perhaps. There was certainly clear an offside, but this is the opportunity for Stephen Defoe to strike it. It was a good block there by Mustafi, and the flag didn't go up incidentally, so it must not have been offside. So corner again, Brady just on the quadrant there, as you can see. Remember, Arsenal robbed Burnley from this in this situation last year, as that ball comes in towards the far post, Ben Mee claims a corner, but it's a goal kick given. Still 0-0. It's a super watch so far, and it's a super game. And Burnley really putting in the hard work and dedication you need in a game of this magnitude and importance. There's the cross in there towards Barnes. Gudmundsson was also on the scene as well. Good crossing from the left there by Ward. Gudmundsson has chased towards the right. Has played in Lawton. Lawton's first time cross was rather scuffed, and it allows Arsenal to get it away. Sanchez takes over. Sanchez now plays it into Ramsey. Ramsey now still 10 yards inside his own half. Goes up to halfway now. 0-0. Arsenal not having everything their own way here. Burnley very much the team in the ascendancy here. Granit Xhaka now. Xhaka playing it back. Mustafi, who scored the opening goal in that 2-1 game at the Emirates, when Burnley were robbed the second time, of course, by Lauren Koscielny. When he ducked his head in and won a debatable penalty off Ben Mee, of course, you may remember. And I totally lost it that day as well, as a commentator. Here's Monreal, number 18. Here's Xhaka. The revenge mission is doing okay at the moment for Burnley. If I can get a goal ahead, that would really give them a platform to really work on. Towards Monreal on the near side, the left hand side. Here's Monreal now for Arsenal. Still 0-0. Turf Moor buzzing with excitement, and Burnley really wanting to put the record straight after 2 controversial defeats last season, and they will not be forgotten. I mean, they didn't forget about Martin Olsen's blatant piece of cheating from 7 years ago against when he was a Blackburn player. Halfway through the first half, Burnley now winning possession. Brady getting in there, Defoe having a go. Burnley prepared to put bodies on the line. Arsenal now having a little bit of possession. Sanchez now about 40 yards from goal. He wouldn't try a shot, would he? Plays the ball forward, and that will be left to Nick Pope to pick up and take possession. Well, if you're a betting man at this moment in time, Burnley have had the better of it. Gudmundsson to Lawton. What a lovely move down that right hand side. Lawton just couldn't get there first. Monreal just got a foot in at the last second. Then the attempted clearance was hard blocked by Gudmundsson, and now Cork sticks his head in where it almost hurts. Then the ball comes back to Tarkowski. Tarkowski gets it long, header away by Koscielny. Now a chance now for Burnley to break here against his Arsenal defence. Lawton through the centre, and Mustafi just getting a foot in to get it away. And now it's found a Welby here through the centre circle. 2-4-5 Burnley players back, and Brady stops in there legally. I have to say, I thought Brady got the ball. Lee Mason, what are you doing? It's not a yellow card offence, I'm afraid. He's away here, Robbie, but... Or maybe, well, it looked from first glance as if he got the ball there, Brady. But having seen that again, I certainly think it's a 3 kick now on closer inspection, but not a yellow card. It's a classic prime example, the little team being punished for trying to get at the big players, and it's at bigger teams' players, and I think that's wrong. It has to be 50-50. I haven't seen an Arsenal player booked yet. 25 minutes gone, 0-0 here at Turf Moor. Should be really 1-0 to Burnley, and they should have a penalty. Referee not giving Burnley any decisions at the moment. Ball back into the area, and then that could be a tricky one for Pope, but he's at that one goal, but he has to let it go because it's a corner. Ended up on the roof of the net. Now all of a sudden Burnley have got some defending to do. Only lost twice this season to West Brom here on the second weekend of the season, and then Manchester City 4 or 5 weeks ago, when Pope, despite conceding 3, really excelled himself, and it was a game that was littered with controversial decisions, no more so than the penalty as that corner comes in. It was inadvertently flicked on by a Burnley player, hooked only half away by the Clarets. Still danger not away yet for Burnley as that shot comes in from almost 30 yards, and it was Macho Monreal with his right foot, and Nick Pope having to dive away to his left hand side here to make sure this wasn't going in. Struck it well on his left foot rather, and wasn't far wide in the end. Bellerin laying it off and just missed the far post. That's the best Arsenal have created in the opening 26 minutes, as much as I can remember so far. Still 0-0 here at Turf Moor between Burnley and Arsenal. Burnley gunning for revenge against the Gunners. Remember, if they can get revenge, it'll be definitely served cold to the Arsenal boys, considering what they did to Burnley not once but twice last season with horrible cheating and refereeing decisions. That's a poor ball really from Defoe, and it's gone right out of play. But they've given as good as they've got here, the Clarets, in the opening 27 and a bit minutes, and that's a good sign. And with the crowd on their side, this is going to be difficult for Arsenal. Sanchez has conceded a cheap throw-in as well. They're not having it. Well, they're not going to enjoy this trip to Turf Moor, whatever happens here at Arsenal. They're players that used to being pampered and playing in the best stadiums and that. I remember what Paul Fletcher, former Burnley player, said. If you're an away team, you get an orange and a peg, and that's all you get. Only we could go back to those days. I think footballers do get too much pampering, really, to be fair. And that's the nature of Premier League rules. We might not all agree with it, but we'd like to go back to the olden days. And it was really refreshing to see the likes of United have that game against Arsenal. And how Arsenal won that game, I'll never know, because that was so was always such a bit of fun, really. Arsenal having to get changed in a porter cabin at Grandy Green Lane or a small dressing room, and they've got an entourage as well to carry all the players' gear in as well. And it's yeah, well, Arsenal won that day at Grandy Green Lane in the FA Cup and went on to win the thing as well in the final against Chelsea. The FA Cup winners here, not having it all their own way here against a team that if they win, the Clarets, they could go as high as 4th. Wow, what a fillip. And they're really giving a good goal here. As Brady chases this one, or Ward chases this one, but I think he kept it in as well. He did. And Arsenal now, with Ward out of the frame, are on the break with Bellerin. Down their right hand side, and then the ball back to Mustafi. To Monreal. Monreal now looking for Wiltshire. Gets it back from Wiltshire, Monreal. Now Mustafi, the German international. Show me. Now inside to Iwobi. Iwobi now for Arsenal. Into Lacazette. Lacazette gets it back again. And it's Alexander Lacazette in towards Sanchez. Sanchez, what a tackle! What a tackle that was from James Tarkowski. That man is so in goal for Burnley, and it looked for all the while there that Sanchez was going to go in there and get one-on-one with Nicky Pope. But James Tarkowski, magnificent defending, had other ideas. And here comes Stephen Ward on the far side for Burnley. That was a really good defending. And Burnley now set up an attack themselves with Gudmundsson. And it's one again. Oh, Gudmundsson again, biting hard in the tackle. Arsenal not in a game here now. Ramsey having to touch that back. 0-0, but an amazing match here. And Burnley put in a terrific performance. Here's Xhaka now for Arsenal to Sanchez. Oh, Sanchez turns away from Defoe as if he didn't exist. Sanchez again, plays it out to the far side now. Oh, well read Stephen Ward, did well, but it's Kashami again now. Burnley now decamped inside their own half at the moment as Arsenal come looking for them. We've had half an hour, 15 to go to half time. But Burnley now, Arsenal 0 here. That looked a tad offside perhaps, but the referees allowed it to go on the far side. And it's Bellerin back to Sanchez into Lacazette. Lacazette, oh, trying to play through the claim handball there at Burnley, but not doing. Tarkowski falling down there, the shot coming in, well hipped. It's come straight to Ben Mee, and now Kalazak plays that ball into the penalty area, comes to Monreal, who came close first time round, shot was blocked, and then hits it again, with this time with his right foot and hits it over the bar. Natural Monreal, and it's a goal kick to Burnley, but credit again to James Tarkowski. It looked as if Sanchez was wiggling three here, and watch this, foot in, what a tackle. And he even found Johan Berg Gudmundsson with that tackle. It was not just a great tackle, but a lovely pass out there. And, that will really impress the England manager watching on. Sat next to Mike Garlick on the right-hand side. Mike Garlick's on the right, and it's Gareth Southgate there, dead central if you're watching it on television. Oh, well, he picked Jack Cork as a late call-up. Jack Cork only got 6 minutes against Germany. Should have had a bit of playing time, perhaps against Brazil as well. But here's Granit Xhaka now for Arsenal. And again, they've got that back four to try and beat. And Lacazette's back three only found Robbie Brady, who goes through the middle now from Defoe's pass. Brady into Henrik. Henrik has got Gudmundsson on the right. Gudmundsson down the right-hand side, deep inside the Arsenal territory. He's got Lawton on the other leg, goes infield to Defoe. Now Gudmundsson. This game is being played at a real pace here. And Gudmundsson now holding off the challengers. Lawton is stayed on side, puts in a teasing ball towards Barnes. Header out as far as Defoe. Defoe now finding Lawton. Lawton back to Defoe. And Arsenal now in trouble as that cross comes in. It's a teasing cross there by Defoe, punched away by Cech. Ward to Brady on the left-hand side. And Brady puts in a little bit of a poor cross, but headed out, which was easily headed out. That looked at foul there, and Jack caught by Lacazette. He couldn't get away with that. It's a free kick to Burnley. It's a stupid foul for Lacazette to give away, really. Just a blatant push. And if the two yellow cards that proceeded for Burnley players, well, I have to say, I think Lacazette should have picked up a booking. Let's just level the balance out a little bit. But Burnley have a free kick, and there's no denying the fact that a yellow card or a free kick was given there. Although Lacazette should have had a yellow card for a professional foul. Brady with the free kick. Now they're going to go short again. It's the Chelsea routine, and Arsenal haven't picked them up, or were sought to pick them up, and it's a corner. Arsenal just a little bit flat-footed there. They should be learning their lessons from what Chelsea had to endure on the opening day when Burnley absolutely fooled Chelsea. Certainly an opening day when they won 3-2. A game which no one will ever forget in this part of Lancashire. Brady to take the corner for the Clarets. The Clarets match live as we come into towards the latter stages of the first half. It's easy for Petacek, who catches well at the far post, and no damage done to Arsenal in the end. But again, good flight in the corner, just didn't have the penetration there to test Petacek, who's hit that ball straight over to his opposite number, and he'll just take possession calmly and just pick it up. It was a poor kick really from Petacek in his rugby helmet, or his protective rugby headgear. Czech Republic, former Czech Republic international. And we've got some new subscribers to the channel there. I'm just checking there as Lacazette again is fouled. Why is he not in the book? That's two daft fouls he's put in there. Lee Mason should be booking him for me. Get a grip, referee. Bolton in Greater Manchester, Lee Mason. Here's Cork's ball, and Gudmundsson doing well. Lovely skills there, but has to touch it back to Ben Mee. Ben Mee over to the far side, and then back to Henrik. Again, good football again. Just patient build up this from Burnley, making sure that they toy with Arsenal a little bit, run them ragged, because they don't like it when they don't have the ball here at Arsenal. Here's Cork forward, still 0-0 here, but I have to say Burnley have really given a magnificent account of themselves for the first 35.5 minutes that we've been playing here. Sean Dyche getting his instructions out. He was complaining of a cold last week. Hopefully his cold has died down before this one. I have to say, Turf Boy is looking amazing. There's an amazing atmosphere around Turf Boy when you look at the stadium and you look at the fan base and everything. As a Welby breaks a break down this left-hand side, away from Tarkowski, but Lawton in there to intercept. Out it goes to Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson keeping it alive. Now Court knocking it forward. Up towards Barnes. Again, lovely, intelligent football here by Burnley. Brady now 10 yards inside his own half. Turns nicely. Finds Henrik. Back inside to Brady. Again, Burnley just being patient. This is good, intelligent football from the Clarets. This is how they're in the top 7 of the Premier League. And they're there on merit and points gained, and they've done it by being patient, playing with great intelligence and great skill as well, and they play some terrific team football as well. The goals against Everton and Swansea prove the team goals that they got against Everton at Goodison Park and then against Swansea prove why they're such a good outfit at the moment. And they were on the attack again, and it looked as if there was a foul there on Barnes, and the referee's giving it, and surely the yellow card's got to come out for Koscielny, the captain of Arsenal. Just really, Arsenal got themselves in a mess, and I think there should be a booking there for Koscielny. I think Lee Mason should be getting his book out. He was dangerously late there on Barnes. No doubt about it. Once again, the referee's kept his cards in his pocket. 0-0. But I tell you what, if this goes in, there'll be pandemonium here, not just in the stadium but with me as well. Robbie Brady, who scored a magnificent free kick, you may recall, back in February against Chelsea when they were 1 down but were still very much in the game. Well, if he can pull off serve up a similar free kick, well, he's already scored for 1 free kick this season. That was against Leeds in the Carabao Cup competition, which Burnley actually went on to lose on penalties. Defoe and Brady, the 2-man committee. It's dead central. It's about 35 yards, but Arsenal there stealing yards here. They should be the full 10 yards back. They're at least 8 or 9 yards back. They should be behind that white line. And Lee Mason telling them to get back. And they can have no complaints. The Arsenal players are just trying to steal yards. It's pathetic. Brady should be allowed his full 10 yards for this free kick. So Defoe or Brady, right foot of Defoe or left foot of Brady. I think it's going to be the left foot of Brady. Brady over the wall and saved by Czech, diving away to his left and tips it behind for a corner. Lovely free kick there by Robbie Brady. Up and over the wall, on target. I think the goalkeeper probably made a meal of the save than he needed to. But still, Burnley on the front foot again. 39 minutes gone, Brady now. And with love, a great corner from him right now. Robbie Brady to take into the 6-yard box towards the near post. It's nodded away. It looks like a little handball there by Sanchez. There were no appeals, funnily enough. Then the ball headed back again. Oh my goodness, and now Arsenal on the break. Like I said, loses the ball almost, and now it could be a problem here because Burnley having to retreat back, and that's a poor ball by Karasnak, and I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies for the mispronunciation, Arsenal fans, but I've commentated on your team that often. Only the Community Shield match table back in August have I covered you guys. And here's Xhaka now for the Gunners. 0-0 in the dark shirts. Burnley causing claret and blue. Sanchez trying to get something through the centre. Now Ramsey. Ramsey out to the far side where Iwobi's waiting. Again, Arsenal just playing that passing style of theirs, which wins many purist eyes, but doesn't win many league titles, I'm afraid. Here's a shot there from Xhaka. It was a left-footed strike, and it's probably got into the top tier of the Jimmy McIlroy stand. That's how bad the shot actually was. Now then, was there a potential handball here by Alexis Sanchez? Well, I have to say, it's in the bracket of sin of game. He had his arms outstretched, and I think Burnley should have had 2 penalties in the first half. To me, the push on Barnes earlier on, and now a potential handball against Alexis Sanchez. Oh, referee, you should be on top of these decisions, and the linesman too. Nick Folk with the kick, still 0-0. Burnley should have 2 penalties in this game. Again, the decisions aren't going the Clarets' way, but they're not unperturbed by that. They're still going strong here, the Clarets. They've had much the better of things here. Even if Arsenal have had possession, Burnley have created the better openings. And here they come. They've got some defending to do, however, here, because Arsenal are on the break with Xhaka. Laid into the path of Iwobi. Oh, what a lovely tackle that was. And Matt Lowton, just take a bow. Take a bow, son, because that was an excellent tackle. Really was. I've really been pleased the way Burnley have applied themselves today. They've really have impressed me. And you know, it's no flash in the pan that they've taken 9 points out the last 9. It really doesn't surprise me at all. The wins against Newcastle, Southampton and Swansea have proved to me, in no uncertain terms, that those results were flashes in the pan. And I tell you what, even a point against Arsenal would not be the worst result in the world for them. Goodmanson being helped out again by his defender Lawton, and that's a good ball up towards Barnes, and Henrik just couldn't get it out from under his feet. He was quite unlucky there, the Irishman. 3 minutes to half time. This is Monreal, who's probably at the best moment for Arsenal. That 35-yard left-footed daisy cutter. Now Ramsey will try one. Hit Tarkowski. Will be an Arsenal corner, so a bit of defending for the Clarets to do. It'll be a harsh one if they were to concede now before the break, because I don't think they've deserved it, Burnley. They should have had 2 penalties, remember. A push on Ashley Barnes in the opening exchanges, and a potential handball against Alexis Sanchez. Kozyanak and Kashami are both in there. Mustafi is waiting there too. That's towards Mustafi and Kozyanak as well. Headed out once more. This is Ramsey. Ramsey chipping that in. Header one, but wide. Couldn't tell who that was. It's a goal kick anyway, nevertheless, to Burnley. Header one at the bar post. It was number 31, Kozyanak, with the header. I do apologise for the pronunciation. It's a difficult name to pronounce. There's Arsene Wenger. Signed a 2-year extension in the summer. But once again, he's had some very bad defeats. None less than the one against Manchester City. And there's a lot of people still calling for his head in Arsenal, in the Arsenal supporters. If Arsenal Fan TV is to be believed, and I'm certain that they're in their droves again today. Robbie and the DT and all that lot, if they're daft enough to be listening to this YouTube channel, they'll be watching, they'll be in the game, in the ground itself, watching on. But hello to you guys anyway. 0-0 here at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. That'll be Czech's ball inside the area. So now into the last 1 minute 10 of the first half of normal time, and there will be some considerable stoppage time at the end of the first half. But it's been a fantastic performance from Burnley today. Really has. I've really enjoyed their enterprise. They've been unlucky with 2, maybe 3 key decisions. Some harsh yellow cards given against them. But I have to say, Burnley have been more or less, if you had to describe, if you wanted to describe this as a boxing match at this stage of the game, I think Burnley would be winning it on points in terms of chances created. Sanchez has not really had 1 kick, or the defenders have not given him 1 kick at all, and that's a testament to Tarkowski, Burnley and the back 4. They've really kept Sanchez quiet, and there goes Burnley, gets another good footing and just hoists it into the Bob Law stand for another Arsenal throw 5 yards inside the Burnley half. It takes a lot to keep Alexis Sanchez quiet. Here he is now on the ball, far side. 0-0. Burnley should have 2 penalties in this first half. Lee Mason was pouring, and the officials were not good enough to spot them, although they have given a 3 kick to Burnley. There's a clash of heads here between Goodmanson. I can't tell who the other one was. I think it's Aaron Ramsey down on the ground. Goodmanson is back up on his feet and okay, but I think Aaron Ramsey's hurt his shoulder here in the challenge. And certainly Ramsey into Goodmanson. So in fouling Goodmanson, Ramsey is now daft enough to hurt himself. There is an extra minute, but I think there'll be a little bit more than that, I think, now, because of the treatment he will be taking for Aaron Ramsey. I think the referee might be calling a stretcher here. So we see the incident again. Ramsey certainly second favourite for that. Barges into Goodmanson, who's a big burly outhouse of a bloke. He was okay. And he's shaken but not stirred, the Iceland man. We have actually played the 1 minute. I think Ramsey will see it out to half time. He's having to go off the field as his protocol these days. And at the moment, I think Burnley will be pleased, although they should have had 2 penalties. I'm sure Sean Dyche will make that perfectly clear to Mr Mason come the come half time. We've played half a minute over. I think we'll allow a little bit more time because of the Ramsey injury. He's okay. And Pope kicks long, 3/4 of the way up the field, looking towards Ashley Barnes, who's ruffled a few feathers this morning, this afternoon, I should say, this morning. If you're watching over in any other countries, yes, it will be morning, but it's afternoon here in the UK, in deepest Burnley, in deepest Lancashire. This is Arsenal on the break now. The ball forward, and again, Tarkowski for the umpteenth time just gets across, slides in, gets the ball out of danger. We played a minute over the 1 minute, understandably so because of the injury to Aaron Ramsey. It looks as if he's up on his feet and okay right now. And there is the whistle blown by Mr. Mason of Bolton. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0 is the half-time score, but Burnley should and could have had 2 penalties if Lee Mason and his officials had been more on the ball with things. First, a clear push inside the penalty area by Lauren Koscielny, definitely on Barnes. Should have been a penalty there. That was in around 6th or 7th minutes into the game. And then a handball by Alexis Sanchez about 5 minutes from the break. Arsenal have not offered much, just a few long-range shots from Nacho Monreal. But at half-time here at Turf Moor, Burnley have got very, very close as well. Robbie Brady with a free kick and all that. And they've really been a real threat. And Pedicek's had to get his gloves mucky a few times, making saves and everything else. But Burnley, you have to say, bossed the first 45 minutes. Not in possession, but in terms of chances created, and I think they have been the much better side. But at half-time here at Turf Moor, we'll be back in about 10 minutes for the second half commentary of Burnley versus Arsenal. It's Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. We're going to have a 10-minute break. Rejoin us for the second half then. Bye-bye. Welcome back as we just await the two teams here. As Burnley and Arsenal are drawing 0-0. I should also tell you that currently at St Mary's it's Southampton 3, Everton 1. It's not looking good for Everton at the moment. No manager, David Unsworth, probably about to take them properly backwards at the moment. But if they are looking for a new manager, please don't come knocking on Sean Dyche's door, because he's happy man here. We're not letting him go to Everton. It would be a backward step. Look at the job he's doing here at the turf at the moment, and I can't think of anywhere else where he should go other than Turf Moor right now. He's a great manager. He's done well. Goodmanson forced the goalkeeper, in fact, to make a save. Actually, Ramsey did miss from 3 yards out as well. One way out with the shot that went wide. And so far, so good for the Clarets as we await to do the second half. That's 4 o'clock. We've got 4 o'clock. The last game later this afternoon will be Huddersfield Town against Manchester City. And that should be an interesting game there. But I have to say, Burnley have really fancied it today. Also, don't look, apart from those 2 chances really outstanding for Wilshere, Robert, Ramsey and Monreal, they haven't had much to cry about, Arsenal, and that's the big worry for them, because when you look at it objectively, they just don't look a team that are looking to break anyone down at the moment. It's all right having all the possession you want, but at the moment it's not penetrating at the moment. So, but as I say, Arsenal to come, second half of this game to come. We're just waiting for the teams to come out at Turf Moor. Just to remind you, on Wednesday night we'll have full match commentary of Bournemouth against the Clarets, so another Clarets match coming right up thick and fast in midweek. So Wednesday night we'll be live from the game at the Vitality Stadium as the Clarets take on Bournemouth. 7:45 kickoff. We'll be on the air around about 7:35 that evening, and there come the 2 teams out into the pitch here at Turf Moor. Sean Dyche having a nice conversation there with Steve Bold, the Arsenal assistant manager, former Arsenal defender of course. But it's 0-0 here, and an interesting 45 minutes in prospect here, live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. If you have just joined us, we're all set for the second half. Goodmanson has forced a great save from Czech, and so did Robbie Brady, but Ramsey came close for Arsenal, and a daisy cutter left-footed from about 35 yards from Macho Monreal, and Nick Pope scrambling, shall we say. So it's the Clarets to get us away in the second half. In Blackburn and Blue, they're going to attack the Jimmy McElroy end. Still a bitterly cold afternoon in Lancashire as this game is about to restart. 0-0, but a brilliant watch, and I have to say Burnley's performance has been exemplary. They should have had 2 penalties, by the way. Barnes was pushed in the area by Koscielny, and they looked at a blatant handball by Alexis Sanchez not given. But having said all that, Burnley's performance has been magnificent, and for all the endeavours, I think they've really done themselves justice. Here's Jayden Ward now picking it up, playing it back to Ben Mee, exited away left-footed, up towards Ashley Barnes again. He will harry and chase everybody. Henrik there, a little bit indecisive there. Henrik trying to get the ball out of his feet there in the second half. But the ball is now back with Arsenal. 0-0 is the score. Brady trying to cut that up, but Awelby's there for Arsenal. Back inside to Sanchez. Sanchez now towards the area. Awelby's there. Waters broke it in, and then the cross was deflected, I think, off Ben Mee, and it will be an Arsenal corner. Or is it? Well, Sanchez is claiming a corner. I thought it was a corner, I've got to confess. And I'm the most ardent of Burnley fans. It looked as if it came off Ben Mee. Let's have a look at the replay again. No, it came off Sanchez. So the referee was right after all. It's a goal kick. So I have to say, well done, linesman, for reading the score up in the second half. It did clearly come off Sanchez, so commentator's error. No, between Burnley and Arsenal. Burnley have really performed magnificently, and Here's Nick Pope, who has only conceded 5 goals in his dozen or so games. He's been in the side since taking over from Tom Eaton as substitute in the Crystal Palace victory, and he made some superb saves in that match. I can tell you that. I was there that day. Here's Bellerin playing the ball back to Koscielny on halfway. Koscielny over the halfway line. The ball played back in field. Granit Xhaka takes possession now. Burnley's next home match, incidentally, is against Watford. Here is Sanchez. Sanchez trying to lay that ball in, but again Tarkowski, for the umpteenth time, just cuts out any attempted through ball. The guy is one of the most alert defenders we have in the whole Premier League. And here's Barnes on the chase. And if Henry, he needed to get his head up a bit earlier there, Henrik. But he's found Brady now. Brady with a crossing off Koscielny. It will be a throw for Burnley. 2 yards from the corner quadrant. So this, really, they just needed a bit more pace in attack. But it's a lovely ball forward by Gudmundsson. And Henrik just wasn't quick enough to catch up with Ashley Barnes, who had to play the ball behind, but Burnley did well there to actually yield a throw out of that. And he's back with Ward now on the left hand side. Brady, Ward has gone in behind, or in forefoot for a moment. He got behind Bellerin, but Bellerin is one of the quickest defenders. I should have known that. Here's Iwobi, 0-0 here. 3 minutes almost gone in the second half. Xhaka back again. Now we've had the 3 minutes gone in the second half. 0-0 between Burnley and Arsenal, but Tarkowski again been probably the better player on the pitch. And well, if there was a poll for man of the match, I think Tarkowski would be up there. And several Burnley players. I think Barnes has run himself around a bit. I think substitutions will have a great part to play in it. That's for certain, but at the moment no substitutes needed at the moment, but I'm sure substitutes will take a high priority in the second half as Sanchez goes down the right hand side, lays the ball in, and Koscielny out with the shot, and again this time he evaded Tarkowski but not Ben Mee that time inside the area, and he blocked the shot. And for one moment then it looked as if Arsenal were going to go in front. Sanchez breaking the offside trap here. And Koscielny with the shot, of Ben Mee just got a foot in the way. It was, again, that's what you call body on the line. Vase Tarkowski there. There's one not to bring him down, the Burnley defender Tarkowski, actually, to be fair. Still 0-0. Here's Sanchez. Ramsey's in support, so too is Granit Xhaka. Oh, that's a pour from Alexis Sanchez. The Chilean has just not had anything his own way. And that looked at obstruction on Jack, caught by Granit Xhaka. Get him in the book, referee. Get him in the book. That's a pure obstruction, and I tell you what, that is more of a yellow card than the 2 that Burnley picked up earlier on in the first half. One for Defoe, one for Brady, and I thought they were both harsh decisions. Ward back to Mee. Mee gets it forward. Lacazette hasn't had a kick so far in the second half. Brady with a flick on towards Ashley Barnes, and there's a foul there. And a 3 kick to Arsenal, or in fact an offside flag has gone up on the far side. So we play on. 50 minutes gone. 0-0. 5 of the second half. In fact, 5 of them have taken place in the second half. Here's Sanchez turning nicely away from his man, and here he goes again. Wants to try and take on all comers. This is Lacazette. Lacazette with the shot. Very tamely hit, and Pope just dived very nonchalantly to his right and said, "Thank you very much, I'll take this tame shot. I'll go it in, no problem." 0-0. It was a right-footed effort by Lacazette. This is Stephen Ward now for the Clarets. 0-0 here, and they've put in a fantastic performance. They've put in a terrific effort, but they've been a little bit quiet at the start of the second half, and understandably so. But it's Arsenal on the break again with Bellerin. Brady sticking close to him like Solvite, if you like. Here's Koscielny. Koscielny to Iwobi. Iwobi now for Arsenal. Deep inside Burnley territory. Up towards the edge of the area. And Bellerin is never going to get there. Even a guy of his quickness. Koscielny playing the ball back. Still 0-0. But Arsenal really not enjoying themselves here in the wind and the cold of Turf Moor. Although it is quite remarkable that we haven't had any rain today. Here's Koscielny. It's been snowing in the north of England for it snowed I think on yesterday morning around about 5 and 6 a.m. in the morning. Here's Ramsey now for Arsenal, still 0-0. Amazing to think this at the moment, because Koscielny takes possession over to the far side. Here's Bellerin back inside. Sanchez takes possession, plays the ball across, and still we await the first goal here with bated breath. And here comes, oh, good tackle. Well, one Tarkowski getting that one away. He did really well. Sensible defensive play. And now Barnes on the chase, and Barnes will get there. Barnes looked as if he was fouled there, and a free kick to Burnley. No, he's not. He's told him to get up. It looked as if he was signaling for a free kick. It looked a free kick on Ashley Barnes, and this could be controversy here if Arsenal score from this. And the ball playing back across, and again, Ben Mee and Lawton between them getting in away. But I think Barnes should have had a free kick at the other end. There's no doubt about it. I think Lee Mason got that one wrong. But Ben Mee and Matt Lawton putting both their bodies on the line. Still, it remains 0-0. Here's Ramsey for Arsenal. Back inside once again. This has been an exemplary performance from Burnley at the moment. Arsenal restricted to practically long-range shots at the moment. Here's Koscielny. Koscielny going forward. Iwobi now in space. Finds Granit Xhaka. Xhaka will, good ball. This could be trouble. Oh, well read again. Tarkowski. This man is just a genius when it comes to defending things. And here's Iwobi though, but the danger is not over yet. Now the ball back across, and again Tarkowski getting in the way of the cross there by Monreal. The man's a defensive pure genius. Here comes the cross again. Cork this time getting it away. Now Barnes chests it down. And Burnley now just need to take their time, play the game with their own intelligence, and just frustrate Arsenal, but then they give it away. But in comes Lowton to win the next ball, and then just hooks it as far up the field as he can and try and gain Arsenal and Burnley a little bit of yardage. Difficult now because the game is somehow, for the moment anyway, being played exclusively in the Burnley half to the right hand side. Xhaka now in possession, 5 yards inside the Burnley half, to the left hand side I should say. And here's Koscielny, plays the ball back once again. Now Koscielny for Arsenal, 0-0. I have to say, it's been a real back to the wall job so far in the opening 10 minutes for Burnley. You know, they haven't had the favourable decisions probably Mason thus far in the game. And here's Sanchez now in field, and Lacazette. Koscielny now with the cross, but that's going to be Nick Pope's every day of the week. Under no great pressure, claims it inside his 6-yard area, or on the edge of his 6-yard area, and there's no problem there for the former Charlton keeper. 0-0. 15 seconds shy of 10 minutes of the second half gone. Pope kicks away from his hands, 3/4 of the way up the field, looking towards Barnes, who took it down superbly. Ashley Barnes now, oh, just has to be the Jeff Henrik, just too strong a contact on the ball, otherwise Henrik would have been in, I think. Henrik has done well to win the ball back though off Bellerin, and now tries to play 1-2 with Brady. Xhaka's got back there in the nick of time for Arsenal, and all of a sudden Arsenal are higgledy-piggledy and have somehow bought themselves a very cheap free kick, I have to say. I think that's a harsh decision. I think some of the decisions that Lee Mason has made has been in favour of the away team. I don't think he's done the Pirates any favours. He's failed to give Burnley 2 cast iron penalties in the first half. I have to say his performance thus far has been poor. No. As Burnley look to get revenge served to Arsenal for what happened last year, but it's Bellerin now for Arsenal. Burnley a little bit stretched here at the back, and this time the cross was a poor one from Bellerin, thankfully, and Ben Mee was in the right place at the right time to get it away. But it's Koscielny, it's wall-to-wall attacking now from Arsenal. We've played nearly 11 minutes of the second half, and here goes Sanchez, and again Tarkowski. What a man this guy is! And now Cork getting it away, and I tell you what, it's a foul on Cork that it is. Koscielny, I tell you referee, you're having a nightmare. Clearly pushes Cork out the way, And I tell you what, if that's an Arsenal 3 kick, then I think Lee Mason wants second as a referee, because that is an appalling decision to go with the catalogue of poor decisions in the first half and the Ashley Barnes push, which was not spotted. Disgraceful refereeing that was. And if it leads to a goal here for Arsenal, then again Burnley have been robbed on the back of a decision. That's a good ball in now, Evan. Well played by Pope. Arsenal can't make anything of it, and here comes Defoe. He's the furthest man forward, and he's in the Arsenal half. And what he has done is allow Burnley just to come out of their shell a little bit and defend from the front, if you like. 57 minutes gone. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. 33 minutes of normal time still to go. Burnley were hanging on in there for a crucial point last year, and they had it so cruelly taken away from them by a handball, the hand of Koscielny, who handed the ball into the goal. In fact, it was a double whammy. It should have been offside for the second decision that was given against them at the Emirates. Koscielny was about a mile offside, and also dodged to win a penalty. Yes, Goodmanson with a shot on the goalkeeper's throat in the end, 35 yards out. He struck it superbly, but the goalkeeper, Petacek, I have to say, was very well positioned to make the save. And Arsenal just making a heavy weather of this now, making a whole mix of things here. Here's Ward now for Burnley down the left hand side. That's sweet skills by him in towards Barnes. Oh, he was tripped there, and surely he's got to be booked here. Mustafi, I should say. Stupid challenge. Tackle from behind. The referee should be getting the book out for these Arsenal players. He's letting them off with blue murder, I have to say. He should be getting the book out for me. But Burnley have a 3 kick. Will the ultimate punish be served cold here from this 3 kick? Robbie Brady came close for a 3 kick, but you bet your bottom dollar is going to be floated in from the left hand side here, and the roof will come off the turf if this goes in. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. But Burnley have a 3 kick, and if they can strike a goal here, what an opportunity. Brady with the ball into the back post, but it's taken at that back post by Petacek in all pink goalkeeping jersey, and Arsenal now can almost make another haul to get it away, but in the end Ramsey got away with it, and he's beaten 2 men through the centre over the halfway line. Now it's out to the left hand side with Kojinak, I think is the pronunciation. Now Sanchez looking for a well-beat. Ward marshals it and makes sure that Nick Pope gets there no problem. He's had a poor match by his standard, Alexis Sanchez. Contract talks with him and Mesut Ozil well and truly up in the air. They're refusing to sign new deals. That's the line I'm getting from the press. Brady did very well on the left hand side. Oh, he almost found Barnes in it as well, but Burnley still have possession. Goodmanson, he's had a good game for me. Here's Brady now, played it in, and that's away by Koscielny. Used his thigh, not his hand. Here's Courtney, the next one in. Brady in there again, up towards Ward, keeps that in play, up towards Barnes, who's having a right old battle there, but the linesman's put his flag up for some unaccountable reason, because I have to say, if that's a 3 kick, it's the softest 3 kick in history. Was Barnes offside? Yes, he was, actually, looking at that again, and it wasn't a foul. That was for certain, and that looked offside against Sanchez, but it need not matter, not because the ball was too badly overhit and it went straight into Nick Pope's midriff. Here's Ward now, has to touch it back to Ben Mee, just hoofs it away, well over halfway, but Koscielny virtually unchallenged. Oh, he made it, almost made a meal of that one. Barnes came in very quickly, as if he was Usain Bolt on a world record speed there to win the ball, or almost win the ball. Arsenal making 1 or 2 elementary mistakes, but they're on the attack now with Lacazette, and that's another poor ball for Arsenal here. Making heavy weather of this here, which is encouragement for the Clarets and for Sean Dyche, saying to them now, break us down. We're here to be broken, to try and be broken down. Break us down if you dare. Here's Xhaka. And really now it's all about the battle of wills here. Are Arsenal going to crumble? They've come to places like Burnley before and have crumbled big style. Remember the League Cup tie in 2008-9. Here's a chance now for Lacazette. Lacazette shoots, gets a couple of deflections, and this time goes just about right at the post. And Arsenal there really turning up the power now of Burnley. They have a corner, but Lacazette there getting onto that right foot. I think Tarkowski getting a block on that as well. And that man is just a defensive genius. And that doesn't look as if it, well, it's just on the quadrant, although you wouldn't think so from that angle. Zaka with the corner into towards the 6-yard box, and again Tarkowski doing well, and finding Goodmanson now has just drifted over to the left here at the moment. Good skills inside one, and that was a foul there by Zaka. It had to be a foul. The referee has not given it. It was a tackle from behind. What is he playing at, Lee Mason? Was not a good challenge whatsoever. Oh my days! Lee Mason, you're having a shocker, pal. No. His failure to give 2 or 3 cast iron 3 kicks, not to mention 2 cast iron penalties in the first half. And I have to say, if he was getting a rating from me, he'd be lucky to get 2 out of 10 for me, because his refereeing has been poor. And the 2 yellow cards that Burnley have received have been nothing short of very harsh indeed. And Arsenal players, for the simple kind of challenges, should have had 3 or 4 players in the book themselves. You can tell there's a favouritism towards the big club, and I hope this is not going to be a third time over, because I tell you what, if Arsenal were to win in controversial circumstances again, I think the officials of Wenger need to be investigated by FIFA, because this is not on. No. Burnley not having the bulk of these referee decisions. Long ball forward towards Lacazette. Ben Mee winning it well, but here's Alexis Sanchez. He was one of the players who was lucky to get away with blue murder with a cast iron handball inside the area. Ramsey shoots over the top, and a goal kick to Burnley, thankfully. But it would have been uproar if he had scored, because it looked a clear foul in the other end of the ground when Johan Gudmundsson was taken out there by Granit Xhaka. Watch this again. It was dangerous. He got the ball, but it was dangerous. And I gotta say, he did go through the back of him, so it was a dangerous tackle. He might have got the ball, but I have to say the referee's got that wrong. And I'm still maintaining it was an awful tackle. You can't get away with it this day and age. Pull with the kick now for Burnley. 0-0. Nothing poor about Burnley's display this far. They've really given Arsenal a real examination. Here's Robbie Brady now, halfway inside the half of Arsenal. Oh, the back flick that was from Lowton into Brady's path. Brady and Gudmundsson just switching sides. Brady on the right now, Gudmundsson on the left. Although Gudmundsson has just drifted out to the right. Ball being kept in play, and here comes Arsenal, Burnley again on the attack. They might reach Barnes, it might not do. Here comes Cork again to win the next ball. Burnley now starting to get numbers forward. Cork on the left hand side, Ward on the overlap should he require him. The ball in towards the penalty area. Not a great cross from Jack Cork, it's got to be said, but Arsenal getting away. And Tarkowski marshalling Sanchez. No foul there. Oh, I think he's giving it. Free kick. No yellow card for Tarkowski. Or is it? No, it's a foul. It's not a foul, I think. I think it's a throw. Burnley have a throw, I think. Yes, they do. So there was no foul there. Good defending there by James Tarkowski. Absolutely been superb. Man of the match for me in this second half. No doubt about it. Oh, that's a soft one, I have to say. Lee Mason, get your house in order. That is the most softest free kick you'll ever see. There's going to be a change here for Arsenal, and it looks as if it's Jack Wilshere here who's going to come on here. A talented player who's lost his way a bit in his career with injuries and one thing or another, and the attitude to the game. And Alex Iwobi, who came in for the El Mezzadurzo, will come off, and Jack Wilshere there. Vic Akers just overseeing this. John Moss, the fourth official. And how many awful decisions has he given against Burnley over the years? And we've been getting refereeing tips, Lee Baker, from John Moss. 0-0 here. Burnley should have had 2 penalties in the first half. They should be 2-0 up by rights. Here's the kick by Czech. It's not a good one. Tarkowski straight there to it. Arsenal really have been very, very lucky in terms of refereeing decisions. And here they come again over on the far side. Ball back across, just behind Lacazette there. And now there's going to be trouble. And no, good tackle there. Fantastic play inside the area. Had to time it right, Robbie Brady, because I tell you what, Bellerin is no slouch over 100 metres. He's very quick, and he got the tackle in well. No penalty. You could complain all you want, but that's a tackle. That's a great tackle. He's looking for that as well, Bellerin. That's a great tackle. No fooling the referee there. 0-0. This has been an unbelievable performance from Burnley here, holding Arsenal out. This is Koscielny now down the right hand side. Wilshere gets his first touch, I think, now since coming on as a substitute. Xhaka now, Burnley yet to make a substitution, by the way. Arsenal now starting to ask a few questions, and they're riding a few challenges inside the penalty area. Ball back across, but no one in the 6-yard box gambling, and it's a throw to the Clarets. Just for one heart-stopping moment, I thought Arsenal were going to go in there and score, but to no avail. 0-0, 68 minutes gone, halfway through the second half. Koscielny now takes the possession, and Burnley now have got some defending to do. It's Montoya now. Will he have another shot? He will have another shot, but it's gone wide and handsome for Burnley anyway, into the cricket field stand. It used to be called the David Fishwick stand, and it's a goal kick. We'll just see that incident again with Robbie Brady. Gets the ball for me, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Lee Mason for once was right. Poke goes short this time to Stephen Ward on the left hand side. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. 69 minutes now gone. Barnes again jumping, didn't get there. Goodmanson will get there. Now a chance here for Lawton to come forward. Burnley have played terrifically well for the 69 and a bit minutes that we've been played. Yes, they've had a bit of defending to do in the second half, but they've really given a good account of themselves, and they've given as good as Arsenal have. And that is a great testament to Sean Dyche and his team. They've really played well. And Ward is on track here. Bellerin will have to go to keep that going. Brady shoots! Brady! Oh, is it? Well, Brady went in there. Still might come for Burnley. Shot over the top from Defoe with his right foot. And they're behind for a goal kick. But, oh, I tell you what, Arsenal there, living on their wits this time. Well, Water going the left hand side untracked, and I think that might have been going in the near post from Robbie Brady, but I think there was a block from Koscielny, and Defoe had the second chance, and it just sailed over the crossbar into the McElroy stand. We're now coming up towards the 70th minute mark. We've now played 70 minutes exactly. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. Here's Padacek with the goal kick. Oh, he'll be a relief man, I'm sure. 0-0. Burnley could have been one up there. But I tell you what, they have given a heck of an account of themselves. And Chris Wood, he'll be chomping at the bit to get on. Didn't play in the last game because he travelled straight from the airport where he landed, I think it was in Manchester, straight to the training ground at Gawthorpe. And Sean Dyche said, no, you're not going to be considered. You've just come back from international duty. You probably have jet lag. Wisely left him out and was rewarded with the winning goal from Ashley Barnes. That put pay to Swansea in the last game, and obviously to add to the one by Jack Cook. But Barnes has been an absolute menace. I tell you what, if Chris Wood comes on, he'll be an even bigger menace. And of course, they've got Sam Vokes to come as well. Giroud and Welbeck on the Arsenal options. I still haven't rated Danny Welbeck as a top player really for quite some time, and there's There's reasons for that. He's an injury prone. He's not particularly great. He didn't have a particularly... I don't think he was good enough for Manchester United's side. And Arsenal's career has been stopped. Welbeck's Arsenal's career has been well short stop-start at the moment, as Cork again wins possession but loses out this time to Wiltshire. And again the tackle's coming in. Ben made it exceptionally well, but Arsenal still have possession. This is Bellerin now, crosses in from the right hand channel. This could be problems. Tarkowski there again for Burnley, but it comes out to Sanchez. Tarkowski needs to get back in defensive position, but no, he doesn't need to. Goodmanson bails Burnley out there and gets it out towards Barnes, and Barnes has got to try and win a free kick, which he has done superbly. But Stappy is going mad, but it's a free kick. Come on, Griff, get him in the book. That's dissent in my book. It's dissent. He's got away with 3 or 4 decisions, or 3 or 4 potential yellow card decisions. It's a foul. It's a foul every day of the week. I'm sick of these foreign players who think they know it all. No. Burnley have a free kick and a bit of respite. Phew. Nick Pope to take it. Are we going to see something very special now in this last 18 minutes plus stoppage time? Burnley have threatened a lot today. Surely Panacek could well be beaten. 0-0 would not be the worst result in the world. Far from it, because they've given it a good go here. And to take another point of one of the bigger guns is no mean achievement. We'll take them on to 24 points. Win, I think, will take them on to 26 and possible 4th place. And as expected, they've not given Arsenal an easy ride today. There's a lot of people who say you've got to earn your Spurs to get results here at Turf Moor. Only one team that managed it, that was West Brom and Tony Pulis, ironically. And since then they failed to register many wins. They got a good point though at Tottenham yesterday under Gary Megson at Wembley. So every Tottenham fan in the land will be praying that Arsenal loses here today. And I know a couple of them personally. But here come Arsenal now on the break. Now this could be onerous. Lacazette, one there first. Terrific defending. This back four's not for budging. And I'll tell you something else. Barnes has done really well to win that ball from Nick Pope's clearance as well. And he's found Goodmanson, who's had a marvellous game. Infield to Henrik. Henrik was a bit behind him, had to take it and couldn't dig it out from under his feet. Arsenal do get possession back though. 74 minutes gone, 16 to play. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. That's a poor ball straight to Robbie Brady. And here's Ward. Burnley now just need to calm it down, just play the ball around sensibly. There's still a bit of time left for them to get a couple of chances and maybe nick the game. And I have to say, if they do, it will be deserved. Here's Cork round the corner. Good play to Goodmanson on the right hand side, the far side. Goodmanson cuts inside, goes down. Referee playing advantage. It could be a good advantage. Here's Brady. Brady gets the shot in. Look like a handball back and show me. The referee's surely going to pull this back, but it's with Defoe for Burnley. Now Ward has it. Infield it goes to Henrik. Henrik turns nicely. This is great stuff from Burnley now. Jack Cork. That's a lovely measured ball out there, but just evaded Matt Lowton, who's now out of position, and it's Alexis Sanchez now. And well, I think that was a good free kick to give away by Lowton, because Sanchez was on the break there. I think the referee was right to do so. Well, Lowton was right to do so. Just give away the free kick, break the play up a bit. Now then, was there a handball here against Koscielny? Oh, he hit his hand. That's a penalty. That's 3 penalties. Burnley have been denied here. Oh, was it a free kick? It was more a free kick actually. But it certainly was a cast iron handball. It should be a free kick down the other end. Oh dear me. Free kick to Arsenal in towards the penalty area. And for the umpteenth time, Tarkowski heading in away. He's had a marvellous game. I'll tell you what, if he doesn't get man of the match, there'll be something wrong today, because I think he's been the best player on the park by none. Better than any Arsenal player put together, in my humble opinion. 0-0. And for a 0-0, this has been an excitable game. The second of our weekend doubleheader. It ended 1-1 in our first match last night between Liverpool and Chelsea, and what a game that was. And that livened up in the last 15 minutes. Are we going to see something similar here in the last 15 minutes of this game? Goal kick to Burnley, an attempted ball in, and out of play. And behind for a corner. I've got to say, the referee now what's he doing here, the referee? Is he going to book Sanchez here for consistently descending? Well, if he keeps on Melvin, the referee, I can't see what Sanchez is complaining about there. Lawton's just stood his ground. If he thinks he's going to get a penalty, Alexis Sanchez, he's very much mistaken. Ridiculous from the Chilean. He never looked like 1 minute going to get there anyway. Lawton just literally stood his ground. So in theory he was doing absolutely next to nothing wrong. So what has Sanchez got to complain about? No. And I think he's been poor today, the Chilean, I have to be honest with you. No. But Burnley have been brilliant. From 1 to 11 they've been superb, and if they nick a winner here it would be even better. That's a foul definitely by Bellerin. Clumsy from him. And a free kick to Burnley here. And Arsenal here are, well, it's Defoe coming off now. I wonder if Barnes will drop into midfield. Defoe has done well, but he does look a little bit knackered to me. But he's done really well, Stephen Defoe. I really have been impressed. He's worked red again. Now they're all to see it. It's appreciated by every claret in the stadium. But Chris Wood now, will he go 4-4-2? Barnes and Wood will cause problems for that Arsenal play, with that Arsenal defence. And Chris Wood is a very capable striker. He's got 4 Premier League goals since his £16 million move from Leeds, which I initially doubted was a good speak, but so far he has proved me wrong. And Danny Welbeck will come on for Arsenal. So no goal for Lacazette here today. But I don't rate Danny Welbeck highly enough. I think he's a poor striker, and I don't think he should even be near the top teams, because I think his injury problems and the lack of goal scoring is not good enough. And I don't think he's good enough for England, by the way, and a lot of people are touting him for great things with the England team next year in the World Cup. He should be nowhere near the World Cup squad. Free kick though to Burnley. Can they snatch something here? Brady with the free kick towards the edge of the penalty area. Arsenal are not going to like these up and unders now. Gudmundsson turns beautifully and gets the crossing, but it was charged down. Oh, just for a moment then I thought Gudmundsson was going to put in a good cross. He got free down the right hand side, and it looked as if he was going to go through there again. But here's, oh, this could be problems now. This is Bellerin. Bellerin now got some defending to do. Oh, Brady didn't stand off him, didn't back off him. Oh, said, come and have a go if you think you're going to score here. And he did shoot, but it was well charged down. What a game. No, but it's been a game of real drama. Can Burnley stay in it long enough, keep Arsenal out and maybe nick a winner? And the romantics will be hoping, and this commentator will be hoping, that this will be the case. Here's Wilshere now for Arsenal. This is really going to be a standoff now. Wilshere inside the penalty area. Wilshere shoots, deflected wide. Oh, thank God. It looked as if it was, I was praying that wouldn't ripple then. That was a real danger sign there. And it hits Tarkowski and just goes wide. Oh, how are your nerves, Clarence? How are your nerves? It's a corner to Arsenal, 10 to play. Xhaka now takes the corner towards the near post, headed away by Brady. Gudmundsson trying to win the second ball. Now Brady will be released on this side, but loses possession to Monreal. And now Arsenal will have to come back at the Clarets now. Oh my days. This is going to stay tuned, folks. Get everyone round the computer, everyone, because, and listen to this commentary, because the next 10 minutes is going to be a roller coaster ride, folks. If you're a Clarets fan like me, or an Arsenal fan tuning in, listen carefully, because the next 10 minutes could be excitable. Poor ball by Mustafi. It's had a play halfway inside the Burnley half. It will be a Burnley throw-in. Oh, we've now coming up towards the 81-minute mark. It was 93 minutes when Arsenal scored last time, and that was through the hand of Koscielny. This is going to be a great ride. We'll remind you of what happened at Southampton earlier. 3-1 last we heard. We will bring you up to date with that. Arsenal want a free kick. They're not going to get it. Goodmanson takes possession down for Burnley. Hacks it up the field, looking for Chris Wood. And Czech dangerously, perilously out of his goal, and one almost got there. And Czech gets away with it. Oh. 81 and a half minutes gone. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. Here come Arsenal now. This will be tense and dynamic, and I tell you what, it's getting to be in the commentary box, I can tell you. Here come Arsenal now with Koscielny at full back, and again challenges won there by Tarkowski, and it's hooked away by the Clares up towards halfway, and Wood is in there. A new problem this for the Arsenal defenders, because Chris Wood, fresh pair of legs, will run his socks off for the cause, there's no doubt about it. Burnley, I think, have gone to 4-4-2, I think. 8 minutes plus stoppage time to play. 0-0, what a game. But 0-0, it's been the most excitable match I think I've seen for a 0-0 this season. Here's Ramsey now, midway inside the half, and there's a lot of tired players out there, a lot of tired minds. Burnley need to stay switched on here for the remaining 8 minutes. And Barnes does well, finds Robbie Brady. Brady now to knock it down the field as he can, looking towards Chris Wood, and Wood will get there. He's up against Mustafi, the German. Can the New Zealander hold it up enough? He will get a throw, and that's good for Burnley. Fantastic. Great stuff. Burnley are having a really good go. If they could nick a goal now and just hang on, that would be an amazing result. Top 4 could beckon. And Ward just trotting down at his own speed. Just take your time. There's no rush. Here's Ward. The last thing Burnley want to do is lose it. That was kept in by Cork, just on the line, on the touchline, and they had to go back because Arsenal have more or less retreated and got everyone back behind the ball. And Welbeck's the first one up. Pope slips but gets a good purchase on the clearance. That looked a push there by Barnes and by Mustafi, and Shaw now, after persistent foul, and he has to be booked here by Mr. Mason. He has to be, simply. He's not going to book him again. Look at that, it's blatant. It's as blatant a foul as you'll ever see. Why is he not being booked for persistent fouling? It really does baffle the mind. But Arsenal here have a free kick to defend, and if this goes in, oh my word, you better turn the sound down, folks, because if this goes in, I will certainly go bonkers. Robbie Brady to take the free kick. There are just 6 minutes of stopping, 6 minutes of normal time to go. One in the Arsenal walk. This must be a good 35 yards out. If this goes in, this would be fantastic. Robbie Brady with the left foot. Brady sends that in, and it was more of a floater than a shot, in fact, and it's straight down Padicek's throat. And again, Burnley will have to try and sprint back and get to defending it again. Lawton winning a good header there. 10 yards inside his own half. Lawton in again. Welbeck not being given an easy ride here. 0-0. Arsenal know they've been in a match this afternoon, but have got away with some key decisions, and there will be some talking points. Should Burnley have had 2 cast iron penalties in the first half? The ball played back in there. Ben Mee knocking that away. And again, some tired players out there from both sides. They've really given it their all in this game. Burnley deserve at least a point out of this. As an Arsenal player going down, it's our friend Koscielny again, who bought 2 decisions last season that cost Burnley points. And he wasn't going to get it the third time here, as that ball came in. That was a clear dive by him, or it may have been a slip, I don't know. The ball was out of play and it's a goal kick. But there's a spell, I've just seen him there, James Tarkowski. He's loved every single minute of this game today. He's enjoyed himself tremendously well. And I have to say, he's probably been the best player on the park. 0-0. And Burnley and Arsenal have really slugged it out. And it's been a real battle of nutrition here. And again, another rugby tackle on Barnes, but it's Barnes who's penalised. I just don't understand the referee. That had to be a foul on Barnes again. Why are the referees not giving Burnley any decisions? Just a typical. He's been poor, the referee, to me. He's been poor. Failure to give 2 penalties. Several free kicks that were cast out Burnley ones. 4 minutes to go, and here come Arsenal on the attack because of a poor referee decision. Koscielny now. Wouldn't it be fate if that... Oh, that's a poor cross. It's a poor cross from Warren Koscielny. And maybe things aren't going his way today at Turf Moor like they were a year ago. Wenger. Well, his team are frustrated here. My never say die Burnley team. A point would be a good result. Wouldn't be the revenge that most of us would be after, but still a point would still be a terrific result. But should they have had 2 penalties, Clarence? We should have had 2 penalties. There's no doubt about it. The Clarence match live, 3 minutes left to play. Burnley 0, Arsenal 0 here on the JB Clarence YouTube channel, live here. And here's Bellerin, right hand side for Arsenal. Back in field again. It's Granit Xhaka for Arsenal. 0-0 here. We're coming towards the business end, or as Alex Ferguson used to call it, squeaky bum time. Here's Koscielny now, just to the right of the D. 25 yards from goal. Back inside to Wiltshire. Or Ramsey, I should say. Ramsey with the ball back towards Mustafi, the German international. And now it's all a battle of nutrition, a battle of wills here at Turf Moor. I tell you what, it's been a second half really to remember. Even if there has been the lack of goals, there's been some great heroic defending from the back 5 of Burnley. Nick Pope has not really had to make too many saves in the game. We're now into the last 2 minutes. We've played 88 minutes, and Arsenal now with Sanchez looking for a way through. Koscielny now, will he try a shot? He'll cut the cross in there. Ball back across and blocked by Ramsey, by Ben Mee, who like Tarkowski has had another marvellous game. The standing Burnley captain for the injured Tom Heaton has done magnificently well. We're now into the last 90 seconds of normal time, and then it'll be down to Jonathan Moss, and my goodness, he's had a say in a few Burnley games over the years, even as 4th official. One ball forward up towards empty space, and Arsenal now will retrieve that. It just gives Burnley a few seconds to come out and try and retrieve the situation. Mustafi now winning possession, or trying to fend off Brady, I should say. And now the ball's being played to the Arsenal left with Monreal. And now back inside, Sanchez doesn't find Wiltshire. Ball forward again. Burnley just hooking it forward as far up the field as they can. Pedicek, they're absolutely flat on their feet. Tarkowski is going to be voted the JB man of the match. I've voted Tarkowski the JB Clarence man of the match. He's been better than any Arsenal player or any other player put together. Here's Welbeck, goes in and he goes down in his stop. But if he was voting, I think he was going to get a free kick there. He was wrong, but he still keeps possession here, Welbeck. But he's tackled beautifully by Brady, and Danny Welbeck, well, that was poor from him. That was absolutely poor from Danny Welbeck. That was a appalling play. He allowed Ward and Brady to get in there and stifle him out. That wasn't great attacking play from Danny Welbeck at all. And that's why I think he's a poor player, and I think he should be nowhere near the England squad. I don't think his heart's in it enough of the time. He doesn't work hard enough. Here's Koscielny. Koscielny playing that in there. Burnley bodies in the way. They're just hooking it away. Heady old how now. And the ball goes steady to touch. It's going to be a throw. Xhaka to take. We've played the 90 minutes. All eyes will be on John Moss. How long is there to go? Just 2 minutes. We had 2 minutes this time over a year ago, and the referee played over 35 seconds, which was fatal for Burnley that day. Will it be enough for Burnley tonight? Here it is again. Burnley having to defend here, because Arsenal are wave after wave attacking them. Can Burnley hang on in there and get that point they so desperately want? Take them to 24 points, put them 2 points clear of Watford in the table. They might not go 4th, but I tell you what, they'll certainly perform magnificently. Ball in there and away, and oh no, he's done it again, the referee! Oh my goodness, it's a penalty! Oh, how cruel on Burnley! No, absolutely, it says there's a free-for-all involving Ramsey. Tarkowski believe it, he's had a superb game. The JB man of the match, has he given away a penalty there? Oh, that is the most stupidest decision ever. Oh, Tarkowski, you feel for him. Arsenal again on a controversial decision. Here it is again. Was this a penalty or not? That's a dive for me. Tarkowski's done absolutely nothing. It's a definite dive. And if Burnley should have had 2 penalties, that is just rubbing salt into the wound. And Alexis Sanchez, who got the winner last year, could do so again this year. Oh no, this is disgraceful. And Lee Mason, can Sanchez score? And he scored! And this is again 3 times in 4 games. Arsenal have got away with it again. Sanchez scores in the corner. Oh no! That is devastating, and I have to say, Arsenal have robbed Burnley again. This is ridiculous. Lee Mason needs to have a good look at himself, because that performance today, the failure to give 2 cast iron penalties to Burnley, and then he gives 1 for a dive by Wiltshire. It's pathetic, and Nick Pope very unlucky. I think he got a hand on that. But again, Burnley have been undone against the same opposition 3 times in 3 games by pathetic refereeing. To me, that's not a foul. There's hardly anything in it. That's a dive. It's the clearest dive, and the referee, oh, that is pathetic. Hang your head in shame, Lee Mason. You have just robbed Burnley again. As Burnley now look to try and attack, there's no way that was a penalty in a month of Sundays. And I think the referee's going to blow for time here. Burnley are so incensed, and you can understand Tarkowski and Lawton's upset at it, and I'm certainly upset. Arsenal are definite cheats. And there goes the full-time whistle. I think now they're playing on. Now they have stopped. But Arsenal have won. And again, for the 3rd game in succession, have won in a totally unfair and unsatisfactory manner. If a referee is going to decide a game, then I think Lee Mason needs to be investigated, because he was biased towards the away team. The failure to give 2 cast iron Burnley penalties in the first half, and then to give a stupid dive for Jack Wilshere. It was a clear dive by Jack Wilshere. Sanchez put away the penalty, but Burnley did not deserve that. That was cruel justice, and for the 3rd game running between these 2 sides, it's been lost on a controversial refereeing decision. But I have to say, the referee again, hang your head in shame, and I think you should be investigated for match fixing. Oh, this is pathetic. Lee Mason is getting the bird. I don't blame anyone from a Burnley persuasion. And I tell you what, if I was you, Sean Dyche, I would go out into the post-match conference and criticise him and accuse him of match fixing, because that to me was the biggest match fixing scandal of the season as far as I'm concerned. The referee fails to give one but 2 Burnley penalties for clear fouls on Ashley Barnes and a handball by Alexis Sanchez, who went on to score late on. Oh, it's unbelievable. Absolutely, utterly unbelievable. And there will be talking points from here to eternity tonight. But Burnley will feel robbed. I cannot recall 3 games, and we thought, well, we'll just have to wait until the Emirates game now later on in the season to get revenge. It should have been a revenge mission today, instead of which the referee has decided things in Arsenal's favour again. How many more poor decisions are we going to get against the same team? The failure to give 2... Oh, it's just, I'm so incensed right now. You want the referee to get decisions right. He's got 3, maybe he's got about 7 or 8, maybe 9 or 10 badly wrong today, all in favour of Arsenal. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, and I'm afraid that's where we've got to leave it, I'm afraid, folks. I hope you very much, well, I say enjoyed it, but Arsenal have won again at Turf Moor this afternoon, but they have totally won this match in a totally unfair and unsatisfactory manner. And I think, and I'm going to close by saying this, Lee Mason, you're an absolute cheat. You're a disgrace to football today and to your profession, and I hope you never ever referee another football match again. From me, JB, take care, goodbye.